So panagdait sa tanan ug sa tanang kabuhatan, this is my topic, records management. So police records management. So records, it refers to the information whether in its original form or otherwise, including documents, signatures, sales, text, images, sound, speeches, or data confiled, recorded, or stored as the case may be. And it could be written form or any material, and on a film, negative, tape, or medium, so as it capable being reproduced. So record any means of recording devices or processes, computer or other electronic devices or process. So records management refers to the managerial activities involved with respect to the records creations, records maintenance and use, transmission, retention, and records deposition in order to achieve adequate and proper documentation of policies and transactions of government for its efficient, effective, and economical operations. So, record cycle. It is also known as birth through death cycle. It is the lifespan of records from creation and to its final disposition. So, number one, the birth or creation of the records. The period, it is the period during which the record is created or comes into existence. So, the records maintenance, the second one, in use, it refers to the period when the record served its purpose. Then it has a sub, uh, that's what we call letter A is the active life, during which the record is maintained and used and controlled. So the inactive life of records, it is the time when the record is very rarely or no longer referred to a must be transferred to a chapter at a cheaper place. These records have already served their purpose but must be kept for legal requirement or other compelling reasons. So classification of records. So records are classified for filing purposes. And record storage refers to the filing of records according to classification. So the retrieval of records, number 5, and the act of taking out of record from the storage for reference purposes. And number 6, purging or retention, the act of determining of if the record is for retention or ready for disposal. Number 7, the transfer of records. The transfer, it is the process of moving the record from one storage to another. So number 8, this is the archival storage or records disposition. The systematic transfer of non-current records from the office to any storage area or archives for long-term storage. The identification of preservation of permanent records and for the destruction of valueless records. So classification of records according to the period of retention. So there are records that is permanent record. It is the record that is bound to be kept for not less than 10 years. That is permanent record. The semi-permanent record, it is to be kept for 5 years. That records that is must to be kept for 5 years. Then that temporary records, that is called, there is no specified period but usually less than 5 years. So letter B, according to the importance of essentiality of the records. So there are vital records. These records that are irreplaceable but can be reproduced. Dili na siya mailisan ng mga records pero pwede siya i-release, pwede siya makapi to public or any agencies for any purposes. The number 2 is the important records, that is it can be reproduced after considerable delay. Useful records, this is the records that would cause inconvenience if lost but could be really replaced. So number 4, non-essential records. So these records that are previously determined by retention schedule to be eligible for destruction. So letter C, this accordance to phases of its life cycle. So current phase records, current or active records. This what we call active records, records that are regularly used and maintained. Kanang mga records nga dominant nga ginagamit siya daily or any every time nga kinahanglan siya nga mga aspect. So number 2 is semi-current phases. Semi-current records, records that are still used but only frequent panalagsar magamit ng mga records. So kaning non-current phases, it is what we call inactive records. Directly, these records that are no longer used, ready for disposition, wala na siya, disposal na, kanang humana siya. For example, cases nga natapos na, then na humana nga mga kaso, mga records, but still need to be managed. Then types of the police records. So there are many types of police records. And number 1, this is what we call case records. It is the heart of any police record system. It serves as the basis for an analysis of offenses and the methods by which they are committed. So kaning mga kaso, basically we are the future police, we bound to manage these records. We bound to encounter this type of records. This is what we call case records. So letter A, records that is under the case records. Letter A is the complaint sheet. It is the foundation record of the police department. It reflects all information regarding complaints and reports received by police from citizens and other agencies or actions taken by police. So letter B, investigative report. Investigative report, it contains the findings and the action taken by the investigating officer based on the inquiries made and obtaining the available facts of the incident. So certain incident, a certain investigation, there is what we call this records that is investigative report, that we need to keep and manage. Then number 1, the initial or advance report. So it is an advance information on a new or fresh case. It is written or submitted immediately after having conducted an initial investigation of the case. So number 2, progress or the follow-up report. It is the result of follow-up investigation of a new fresh case. It is written and submitted every time or whenever development of progress is accomplished and the follow-up investigation is center of the case. There's that progress that we need to report daily. What happened to that certain case that we have we undergo investigations. So final, number 3 is the final or closing report. When we have that investigation, we have that introduction that about the case, introducing the case, then the final closing report. It is a complete written narration of facts based on an exhaustive investigation of the case. So it is the result of an evaluated submission, analysis of all facts and circumstances of the case. This is written or submitted whenever case is solved and closed. A case is solved and closed when the offender was arrested. Evidence against him was completely gathered to warrant prosecutions and witness located to testify at the trial. So number 4, technical report. So a report on the laboratory examination of physical evidence gathered in order to supplement the findings of the investigator. So number 5, accident report. It is the accident report records an investigation report regarding an accident, which includes vehicular accident and damage to property. That is the basics incident that is very rampant in any places, especially in urban places. There are so many cases, accident happens daily. So we need to manage that. We need to keep that manage. So number 6, wanted persons report. So a report on a persons who are wanted by the police, persons basically who are that pending cases that are not solved. That is very crucial part as a work of a police to have that record of whom that persons who are wanted and bound to be arrested or to go to court in trial. So number 7, daily records of events. So records needed to complement members police force inform concerning police operations or assignments and administrative functions. So arrest, and number 2, the arrest and booking records. So these records maintain the arrest and jail booking report, which is required for person arrested. So arrest and booking report records. So letter A, arrest report. It contains the information regarding the full name, basically the full name of the offender, charges, kung sa iyang sala, and the circumstances of the arrest, kung sa mga mahitabo, kung sa mga kaakibat nga mga punishment sa iyang mga nabuhat sa certain criminal. So the booking report, letter B, it contains the list of the prisoners in custody, which indicates the status and disposition thereof. So prisoners property receipt, it contains all the information regarding the property taken from the personnel and accomplice in duplicate. So identification records, third major division of police records. So this provides identification criminals, which includes names, mga ngalan, physical characters, kung sa ilang barog, kung sa ba ilang mga tinanawan, sa ba na mga kuan diha, tinindugan, nilakwan, and in some cases photograph. So that is the identity all about of the certain criminals and offenders. Fingerprint record, letter A, it is the heart of any identification system. It is the most fingerprint record, it is the most important in recording and identifying person, specifically criminals. Number 1 is civilian fingerprint, or you are belong to the country. Here in the Philippines, if you are a Filipino, that is civilian fingerprint. If you are in an alien fingerprint, you are foreign, that is visited here in our country. Letter B, criminal specialty or modus operandi. This is the most important that the police must focus. It contains photographic record of the modus operandi of the criminals. Important kini siya kay diri na to makita kung if there is a certain incident happen, it has the same styles or the way they committed crime, their modus operandi. The number 4, the administrative records. So essential in administering personnel matters and designed to aid in assignment, promotion and disciplinary action of personnel. So personnel records, number 1, correspondence files, memoranda, orders, policy files, and assignment records in the police administrations. So number 5 is the miscellaneous records. These records are not related to the record complaints or investigation reports, but are essentially to the daily police activities, the ground of the police. It is not this miscellaneous records is the daily activities of the police personally, the group, their organization happens. For example, their release every morning or dailies. Also, they have that miscellaneous records that are being kept. So, in the filing system of the police, so number 1, alphabetical. So, records must be alphabetical. All matters are filed in dictionary order. It is the most widely used form of filing para dali ra siya ma-identify, dali ra siya ma-trace nga. Especially cases, spelling names. So, ibal madinjing the records alphabetically, dali ra siya ma-trace. Then number 2, encyclopedic order. So the subject are grouped into major headings. Individual folders are filed in an alphabetical order behind each heading. So dapat example, rape cases in Zamboanga del Sur. So dapat na siya naka-group na siya nga records into one file nga naka-arrange na siya. Dapat dili siya nagkatag-katag kay para mangayuan og record ang kining usa ka station. For example, sa Pagadian City Police Station, dito sa regional, pangayuan sila sa regional. So dali ra nila makita kung sa itong mga rapist diha sa certain city or certain province. Muna kinahanglan siya nga encyclopedic order para dali ra siya ma-trace, same as number 1. So chronological order, folders are arranged by sequential date order. It is useful for records that are created and monitored on daily basis. So chronological, kuan siya kanang naka-arrange siya sequential by the at kaldat kaning ang gibugaton sa mga kaso. For example, kung unsa ginang mga cases nga kaakibat pod nga mga kini mga consequences, unsa ba mga dapat naka-headings po na siya chronologically order para dili malipat ang usa ka police officer na pangita sa mga case. So geographical, mo nitong yung na files are arranged alphabetically by geographical name of the place. So the word kuan mga place ni siya geographical para dali ra siya ma-identify kung asa siya na belong, kung taga-asa maybe ang kriminal, kung asa siya dapit na kuan na convict na asa siya naka-commit of crime. Then numerical, assigning numerical value number of specific file can be managed through the following system. Serial case, kaning serial number. Then digit filing. Then number 6, centralized filing places all record series in one central location in an office. Most useful when majority of individuals within office require access majority of files. Decentralized filing, it physically locates record series in different places within an office. Most useful when only one individual requires access to a specific record series. So the Philippine National Police Personnel Records Management, as provided in the PNP Records Management Manual of 2008, the PNP shall establish a centralized records management system and create, maintain, protect, and preserve records both in physical and electronic form. So Records Management Division, or RMD, the Records Management Division was established to oversee the records management function of the DPRM. The RMD shall develop, coordinate, and implement PNP-wide programs, policies, and procedures for creation, usage, maintenance, storage, and depreciation of personal records. The RMD is headed by the division chief with the rank police senior superintendent and assisted by an assistant division chief with the rank of superintendent. So records creation, this is when the records creation refers to the act of exchanging written ideas between two sources. At this point, the life of the record begins. Kung kano sa siya nahimo, diha na siya mo na siya records creation. However, due to the fast pace of which records of PNP personnel are created and the cost involved in maintaining them, control system is necessary. So, no PNP record security and protection refers to the preventive security measures in action undertaken or other safeguard records, documents, government prompts, and unauthorized and discrimination disclosures, damage, destructions, and loss. The records are filed in current and non-current storage area. So protection of records, we need managing records, records management. We have to protect it, duplication. If we have records of certain case, we need to duplicate kay wala niya na pananglitan paper records kanang gitawag sa in written form records. Preferably pwede siya i-enter sa usa ka app in the computer for duplication para pananglitag mga basa ba bagyihon ba inyong police station, nakasave na to siya, ma-open ra siya through kining electronic devices. So dispersal records shall be distributed without additional copies or duplicates. These records kining siya kanang dili kining dispersal wala siya kanang dili siya dapat ma-duplicate mga records nga vital records or kining crucial records or confidential. Then vaulting, vital records shall be stored in a vault. Then evacuation, original and older records considered to be vital be sampled to a secure location. So records protection level, so vital records protection, top protection priority records consist of all essential records considered as mission critical and irreplaceable. Then important records seeking protection priority na kinahanglan consist of all documents still considered as essential but not can be replaced or recreated. Then useful or the lowest protection. Useful documents considered non-essential to normal operation but inconvenient when lost. So that's all maybe, and panagdahil sa tanan, panagdahil sa Diyos sa tanang kabuhatan, and thank you for listening. And I am Mario Abiso, the reporter of this topic, the police records management, and panagdait again and daghang salamat.